Hello dear students of class 5. Today we shall discuss Roman numbers or Roman numerals. Now when we say Roman numerals, the Romans use this system of writing numbers. So what they do is they use the following 7 letters of the alphabet to write all the numbers. So the alphabets they use are I, V, X, L, C, D and M. So the value of I is, as you can see in the chart here, the value of I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500 and M is 1000. And you should remember that there is no zero in the Roman system of numerals. Now there are certain rules for writing down numbers using Roman numerals. So let's start with the first rule. Rule number 1 is the numerals, that is I, X, C and M, can be repeated to represent a number. That means the letters I, X, C and M can be repeated. Repetition of these numerals simply means addition. So let me give you an example. So example is, let's say I equals 2. So the value of I is 1. So 1 plus another I, 1 equals 2. So likewise X and X equals 2. The value of X is 10. So 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. Similarly M equals 2. Value of M is 1000. So 1000 plus 1000 equals 2000. So in this way the numerals I, X, C and M can be repeated, but they cannot be repeated more than 3 times. So moving on to rule number 2, a smaller numeral written to the right of a numeral of greater value is always added to the greater numeral. Once again, a smaller numeral written to the right of a numeral of greater value is always added to the greater numeral. So example is here V I equals 2. Now here the smaller numerals are I and I, so the greater numeral is V. So the value of V is 5. So 5. Now we have to add, since there are 2 I's, we have to add 2 equals to 7. Similarly X I equals 2. Smaller value is I, so is 1. So X is 10. 10 plus 1 equals 11. And another example, M, C. Value of M is 1000 plus C is 100. So this will give you 1100. So that is rule number 2. Moving on to rule number 3. Rule number 3 says that a smaller numeral written to the left of a numeral of greater value is always subtracted from the greater numeral. So example again. Now if we look at this numeral, I is written to the left of V. V is greater than I, so it has to be subtracted. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. Similarly X, C equals, the value of X is 100 minus 10 equals 90. Now let's say C, D. Now C and D, the value of C is smaller than that of D, so it is written to the left. So what we are going to do is, the value of D is 500, so we have to subtract the value of C again, which is 100, equals 400. So rule number 3 says a smaller value numeral written to the left of a numeral of greater value is always subtracted from the greater numeral. And rule number 4, when a smaller numeral is placed between 2 numerals of greater value, it is always subtracted from the numeral value immediately following it. So example here, X I X. So you will see that I is placed in between 2x. So what we are going to do is we have to follow the rule, and it has to be subtracted from the numeral immediately following it. So what we are going to do here is 10 plus 10 plus, so I is followed by X. So what we are going to 10 minus 1. So here you will get 10 plus 10 is 20 plus 10 minus 1 is 9. So you will get 29 as the answer. So similarly D, I, X. I is placed in between D and X. So what we are going to do is 500 plus 10 minus 1 equals 500 plus 9 equals to 509. So those are the rules for solving Roman, or how to write numbers using Roman system. So for your assignment will be exercise 1.6, question number A and B, which you will find in page number 9 and 10. So that's it for today. Thank you.